back in Dubai before my adventure through the Romanian legal system. We were talking about perhaps doing something back then, but I got caught up with a small issue.
You've been on your own path, something which we couldn't see coming.
Well, I would say I've been on DCOT's path. I've been on the judicial system's path, but it's been enjoyable. It's been interesting.
I wanted to start with a question that I think will allow you to clarify and articulate exactly what's going on in your life and world right now, because you've been called the savior of young men and a danger to society. Do you see the truth in both perspectives?
Absolutely. There's always truth in both perspectives. How can you be the savior of young men without also being a danger to society, especially a society which is demonizing young men? If the society is deliberately trying to demonize masculinity and damage young men and destroy the masculine spirit of resistance, then you are their savior and a threat to society at the same time. I understand why my enemies call me a threat. I understand why they don't like what I say. I understand why they want me to disappear. But that doesn't mean I'm not helping the people who I'm trying to help. So in fact, I would say that it'd be impossible for the first statement, that I'm the savior of young men, to be true without being deemed a threat. So there's no light without dark. Equal and opposite forces is extremely important, which is actually why I believe I'm so monumentally well known. My haters don't realize that without the opposite pushback, without the opposing force to the things I say, I wouldn't be nearly as viral anyway. The fact that every single thing I post, half the people agree, half the people hate me, the comment sections go wild, the algorithm picks it up. It's like they do me a favor, these people trying to get rid of me. And they're threatened by me, and they're threatened by my ideas, and I understand why, because my ideas are based in the reality of brutal competence. I believe that life is a meritocracy, and those who deserve to win are going to win, and those who try hard are going to win, and that the universe gives everybody what they deserve. And if you have everything you've ever wanted, you deserve it. And if you don't have what you want, you don't deserve it. So the liberals and the people who hate me, who sit around and they're depressed and they're overweight, they look at the world in a completely different way. To adopt my mindset would be destructive to them, because then they have to admit that they are the reason they failed. Instead, they rather pretend someone else is the reason they failed, or something else, systematic racism or capitalism. So they don't like to adopt my worldview, so for that reason they see me as a threat, because if my worldview is adopted, then people like them will be seen as what they are, which is losers. And losers don't want to be recognized as losers globally. So I completely understand it. Both of those statements are absolutely true.
Who do you see as your enemy right now?
Well, I think we all have enemies. You can look at it from the perspective of people who make rap songs after living in the ghettos, saying that if you don't have haters, you don't matter. Or you can look at the highest level politicians on the planet. If you don't have people trying to take you down, you don't matter as a person. If you don't have a criminal case in a country like Romania after being globally famous, you're nobody. I mean, this is Romania. I'm one of the most famous people in the world. Of course I caught the case. It's just one of those countries. It's how the world works in most places. You'd catch a case in America. Trump did. Matt Gaetz did. All these people who are high level in the Trump admin are catching cases for saying a fraction of the things I've said. And we're in a country now which can be bought. So of course I caught a case. So it's just the way it is. I don't think you're ever going to be able to go through life and do anything significant without having a huge portion, a huge considerable contingent of the population desperate to try and induce your downfall. And I'm happy for that. I know it's kind of cliche to say that my haters are a symbol of success, but when I see people making accounts dedicated to trying to damage my influence and damage my happiness or my contentment, I am flattered. I'm genuinely flattered by that. That's how I know I'm doing well. So you need the equal and opposite forces. There wouldn't be fan accounts if there wasn't hater accounts. I really am, truthfully, a light and dark guy. I always have been. I've never looked at the light in my life and expected it to exist outside of the dark. Every time I've made millions and millions of dollars, the next day I prepare for something bad to happen.